Let me read this. So, MF, we need your help.
Yes.
We need MF, we need your help.
Mr. Fam, help me.
Mr. Fam, help me. My husband doesn't turn me on anymore. That's the title of this letter today. Misters, hopefully you all picked my question. We did. All right, because I need help. I love my husband of 5 years. He's 6'1" and was very athletic when we met. Now he has put on a lot of weight even before COVID, and I am not physically attracted to him anymore. MF, help me. So. Also known as the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast. I am your host, Mr. aka Jeffrey Mr. And right beside me is my wife of 15 years, 2 kids, a lot of craziness.
Mrs. Mr. aka Dana Mr. And together we are the Misters.
Yeah. Let me set the
Welcome
mood
to the
real
show.
quick.
You gonna set the
Light
mood?
the candle.
All right,
What kind of plant is this?
That's a cactus, baby.
No, a cactus is in
Yes,
this.
it
This
is.
is not a cactus.
That is a cactus.
This is not a cactus.
Okay, well, it's something that produces aloe vera. Okay.
It is not a cactus.
Okay, baby.
It produces aloe vera. How do you know it's produced? So I can cut myself on that and later someone says.
Hey,
You don't think so? So listen, we are here. We're here all the time, every Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining along this journey. As I say all the time, you've been shacking up with us. That means you've been rocking with us.
But you haven't liked, subscribe,
or comment.
comment.
Before you, if you're watching on YouTube right now, just wave, say hey, hi, do whatever. A lot of y'all, we meet y'all in the stores. You're like, I've been watching every episode. I love it. And so yeah, so shout out to y'all. If you have not, go ahead and hit that button real quick. If you're watching on Apple or listen on Apple Podcasts, whatever. Thank y'all. Google, wherever y'all listen at. Thank y'all, man. We love y'all. Y'all the one keep this thing going. Salute to you. You are our MFs, our Mr. Family. We call you affectionately our MF, our Mr. Family. So thank y'all for going into. We're going to talk about today. That young lady is not. Well, if we could title this, we would title this I'm not sexually attracted to my husband anymore. Yikes. That hurt me. That hurt me.
And like for the ladies, for some of the men, to help the men out, it could be the same way. So hopefully this is
so you can reverse it and go to the other side. So this is a real problem. Thank y'all for writing in and getting into it. I want to give a shout out.
Because most of the time, I'm going to be honest with you, when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because most of the time, the men usually stop being attracted to
so y'all can just be attracted to tree monsters, anything. Y'all can be attracted to anything.
No, what I'm saying is usually over time, the men lose interest in the women. You know, y'all go through that whole midlife crisis stuff.
So I'm glad we got another side of this today. So don't go anywhere. If you're listening, if you're watching, do not go anywhere. Hanging there with the missus. We rocking with you. Thank you for rocking with us. We're going to start off with a little shout out. I want to shout out Billy Glasgow, BG. He sent a message this week. He was saying, shout out him and his queen. They watch the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. podcast on their big screen. They're connected on YouTube. Listen to what he says. They are a daily part of their weekly routine.
Awesome. We love to hear it.
And discuss. Yes, and shout out. They have a kid. They were watching last week's episode. So if you have not listened or watched, go back and listen to that. Lord, I mean, how are we going to raise these kids, Lord?
That's probably one of my favorite episodes.
That's one of your favorite episodes. So if you have not... And so they have a kid that started kindergarten. He's like, what am I going to do? He said a lot of what we describe in those 4 types of parents are him. He said he's talking with some of. So he said he's talking directly to him.
We appreciate you.
Shout out.
Yes,
so thank you anybody else who and write us in like we got that's week 2 as well. How is this podcast affecting you? How are you changing up? How are you growing? How are you not growing? Anything in the sense of what's happening. So if you
or topics that you want to hear, that we want to hear us discuss, please send them in.
Exactly. Yep. Shout out to men getting in there and doing it as well and being a part of this journey. So every episode, like you said, we like to laugh, learn, and love. And so we're going to start off with the laugh portion today. And this is something we like to ask each other questions, continue to know each other. You do the same thing too if you're in a relationship, marriage, or whatever. What body part?
Wait a minute, before you start that.
What's up?
Before you start that.
You rubbing
then you forgot the first question.
You rubbing them?
You forgot the first question.
You rubbing them?
Yeah, I'm moving on. Yeah. What did you think? What did you find sexy about me when we first met?
I did. I forgot that. What did I find sexy about you when I first met? I thought you had sexy kneecaps. I'm not gonna lie. I thought your kneecaps were sexy. Well, legs. I thought you had nice legs. I really like your legs.
Oh, my long legs.
Yeah, I like long legs. I like to climb. You get in there.
Oh my goodness.
Is that too much? Is that too much?
So you found my legs sexy.
I like a good sexy leg. Like I don't. When I was eating meat, when I was eating chicken, like I didn't really eat chicken legs, but I like legs. I like a leg. I mean, the breast ain't too bad either. You know, we were talking about
chicken.
What you talking about? Listen, if you're new to the channel, listen, thank you for joining. I'm gonna be transparent and honest. If that offends you, stay for longer because you will probably get more offended as the show goes on. And so I want you to be free. I want you to be free. Give us free. So when I first met, I thought you had sexy kneecaps, sexy behind the kneecap, little thing there. The legs were pretty sexy. So what did reverse the question? What did you think was sexy about me when you first met?
I believe I found sexy about you. I felt like your teeth. Yeah, they were pretty straight.
You like my teeth?
Yes.
You like my teeth? What you want to do?
Yeah, because like you weren't like the muscular type of thing then. You know, you gotta keep in mind we were early 20s, so you.
So hold on. What
you were more slim. Now you get buff.
No, I'm not. It sounds like we supposed to be complimenting each other. What did you find?
I am complimenting you, baby. I am.
We talking about attraction and what did you find sexy about that? So you ask your partner the same thing. Hopefully they don't tell you where your feet belong when they tell you.
No, baby. I thought your teeth. I felt like you were very handsome. Okay. I love your personality. Your personality and your sense of humor was very sexy to me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So, what did you think though? So this is the flip side of this question, right? What did you think was sexy about that? Let me fix the question.
Yeah.
What did you think that I thought was sexy about you? So, did you think it was your legs, or what did you think in your mind?
I thought you would have said like my butt or something.
I mean, like your butt. I like your butt. Yeah. But I'm saying, so you would have said butt on the side. Why would you have said the butt?
Because at that time, that was the only thing that was more voluptuous on me because I was straight up and down.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah. You said your butt.
Yeah.
Show us the curve. How do you think your curve was? Like that? Was it more? Was it a scoop or was it?
It's kind of round.
Okay. Hey, ain't nothing. Listen, shout out to all the rounders in our ML family. If all the husbands listen right now, like go and let them know.
What did you think I was gonna say about you?
What I thought you were gonna say about me was I thought you were gonna say my humor because I thought you were gonna say that, and I thought you were gonna say my calf muscles. I have very attractive calf muscles. I get it all the time. People like, oh my goodness. I walk past folks. You see that? You don't see that? Look right there. Hold on now. Do I need to step up? Do I need to show my calf muscles?
It's okay. No, because
I don't want nobody to lust. Yeah, I got some hooping shorts on under here. I don't want nobody to watch this video and be lusting on my calf muscles. So I'm trying to look out for y'all. You don't think I can? You think I can have them lusting for my calf muscles? You think I can't have them lusting for my calf muscles?
All right, so moving on to the loud portion.
We just did the loud portion. See that? You said the learned portion.
Okay.
You said
no, the loud. Because the next question is, what body parts of mine could you pick out in a police lineup?
So imagine.
Hopefully nobody's ever in a police lineup.
Your spouse gets arrested, and the only evidence they have is the body part that you can name. Which body parts? We'll say body parts.
Okay.
If you put it in a lineup,
their face is not shown.
Yeah, their face is not shown. So you getting an elbow or you getting anything else. What body parts can you name? You go ahead and go.
I would probably say your head and your chest.
My head and chest?
Yeah.
That's it? You can get in on that?
I mean, you want me to name? I thought you.
I'm saying the most. Okay.
I want to name all the body parts of yours.
Okay, which ones?
Your head, your chest, your calf muscles.
They sexy. They are attractive. Very
Your
attractive.
feet, definitely your feet.
My feet are very sexy too. For a
Very
man,
feet.
I don't really get them done or nothing like that. I got them done at one time.
Your
I almost
feet.
got arrested that time before we got married.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd be able to pick you up your
Okay.
whole body. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, what about you?
All right, what did I say? So, we need you to identify your wife, sir. You can't see her face. What can I see? I can tell. I can get your butt. I can definitely get your butt. I've seen enough of that now to know what it is. Let me see what else. I can get your breast down too. Like if they had like 10 breasts, I think I could name which breast is your breast. I could definitely name that. Your back, I can get your back too. I can, like I said, like if you would, hopefully you don't ever get chopped up. I don't wish that on anybody. But I could be like, that's her thigh. I can never get your thigh down. So if you relationship, whatever, if you married or whatever to you, let's thank y'all. What could you identify about your spouse in a police lineup?
Yes.
As you go down there.
Yes.
So what could you identify in a police lineup?
Yes.
So
we're going to move on to the learn portion.
Yes.
So it's an interesting letter today.
Yes, let me read this. So
Yes.
MF, we need your help.
Yes.
We need MF, we need
Mr.
your help.
Fam, help me.
Mr. Fam, help me. My husband doesn't turn me on anymore. The title of this letter today. Misters, hopefully you all picked my question. We did. All right, because I need help. I love my husband of 5 years. He's 6'1" and was very athletic when we met. Now he has put on a lot of weight even before COVID, and I am not physically attracted to him anymore. MF, help me. So she's there right there. So they've been married 5 years.
So if you're not attracted to your husband, who are you attracted to?
Watch out now. Ladies say they don't have this problem. So what do you think's going on?
I think either somebody else has sparked her interest, perhaps. It could be one of those things. I don't like speculating, especially when it comes to
this is
marriage.
what we're here for.
But since we didn't put the name in there, I can speculate all that. So I believe that somebody else may have caught her interest, which may hinder her to being attracted to her husband or whatnot. But one thing, we take vows, very seriously, right? And so it's like for better, for worse, for richer or for poor, for through sickness and health, to death do us part. That means that encompasses everything.
Thick or unthick.
Thick, thin,
Thick,
all those things. And so I believe it's, and I understand, for me, it's like if it was a health reason, right? Like if it was more so, hey, I'm concerned about your health. You have diabetes or you have high blood pressure. So hey, but because of a physical attraction, I love that song. Oh, I gotta find that song by Music Soul Child. I love you when your hair turn gray. Yeah.
And I love you if you
gain a little weight.
He said a little.
Well, that's what she said. She said a little.
I remember that he said he put on a lot.
Okay, well, a lot, a little. So one thing is, I believe you have to, I truly believe you just need to walk, talk to your husband about it and be like, don't tell him you're not attracted to him. Please don't tell him that.
That hurt me.
Because that won't hurt. Don't, because my thing is, a lot of men love words of affirmation. They want them to be sexy to you and all of that.
I want you to be like, ooh, put this.
Yeah.
Give me. You better get these yams.
Yeah. So I wouldn't definitely do not share with him, hey, I'm not attracted to you anymore. But what you should do is like, hey, first of all, take a look in the mirror. Make sure your whole self is together. Then not only that, then also, hey, let's go walking together. Let's go to the gym together. Hey, hey, babe, I noticed we both have put on a little weight or whatever, because you could just, or you can even just say, hey, I'll put on some weight. Do you mind going to the gym with me? How do you want to do it? So my thing is, because do not share with him that you're no longer attracted to him, but also make sure that somebody else is not sparking your interest. And because otherwise, if somebody else is sparking your interest, or somebody else, you are attracted to somebody else, then of course you won't be attracted to your husband anymore. So that's my thoughts.
Listen, this is one of the rare times we almost completely agree. And I would say yes. I would say starting off with what Dana said. She said first check yourself and see if you're attracted to somebody else, or you allowing yourself to be attracted to somebody else. Where have you left the gate open? Like the old gospel song. I don't know if y'all grew up in the It says, who in the hell left the gate open? It's a gospel song where they talk, and then I would apply that situation to you. You've left the gate open somewhere to allow your heart, your eyes, your mind, your focus, your thoughts to be portrayed somewhere else. So maybe this brother has gained a lot of weight, and maybe that is unattractive to you. But you guys have been married for 5 years, so there's been something there. And so maybe this is what you look at in a negative sense, and so you're completely telling yourself, look at Big Nasty right there. Look how he chews. Look at Big Uns. And you keep telling yourself, no, I'm not saying this. This is what she may be telling herself. I'm saying if you continue to tell yourself, of course you're not going to find nobody attractive, but you keep looking at the negative things about them in their life. Mm-hmm. So first of all, you got to be honest. And then, it's like Dana said, are you Halle Berry walking through that joint? Are you Beyonce? All the single ladies, or what's going on there. So I think being realistic, many times if you ask people what their expectation is, they got a laundry list. But when that same dream person don't reflect on you, you ain't trying to hear that. So I think the same thing. Would you be open to hearing his criticism of you as well? And not to say it's not valid that you don't want health reasons why. You want people to live all their lives and not be stuck in a situation. So being open to those things, to be able to push there, and really and truly saying, like, am I being realistic about this? And in just a moment, we're going to talk about 6 things to kind of spark that back up. If you lost that attraction, male or female in the sense, and what you can do about that. I totally agree with Dana on the sense of, like, check yourself first, and then think about if it's somebody on the bus route that you're riding. And you look at Buford over there. I put these yams on Buford.
But another thing too, it could be kind of that's the word I'm looking for, vain. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it is, and like 5 years, like, okay, y'all, you really just getting started, right? With kudos to 5 years.
It made 5.
But the thing about it is, like, you got a whole bunch of years to go. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hope so anyway, right? So my thing is,
she may be feeding them like that. She may be feeding them so he can die. So you get the insurance money, and she.
Oh my goodness! I hope
not. This whole thing is going. Listen.
So you are speculating too much. But so I just think you just have to be realistic. As we grow older, of course, we won't look the same as we were. Like, I don't feel like I look the same as I was 15 years ago with Jeffrey. Actually, I feel like I look better. So
I like
it. And so, and so
maybe I give me a scoop after this episode.
Oh my goodness. So, we're growing and all that stuff. So you want to make sure you're just being reflective and just like, hey, but do it not because of physical, do it because of health reasons. That's
for sure. And really being honest and transparent about it and trying to do what's best for them. I think if you were in it just for a certain look and they're not there anymore, how do you help them and grow? And it's like a partnership and not leaving them behind when something is inconvenient for you or doesn't fit what you like for yourself. And I think a lot of marriages end now because it becomes inconvenient for me. And I'm only looking out for the selfish reason. It says when two people come together, they become what? One flesh. One flesh. And so if I'm one flesh, it's hard for me to cut my legs with my hand because we all are part of the same body. Yeah. And so if you look at it that way, then you look at it differently and say, you know what? We may have a weakness here, but let's grow together.
Let's do it together.
So, MF, what y'all think about this? Drop in the comments. If you have not, go to mr.mrs.mister and let us know what you think. What you would tell this sister right here. We want her to make 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and all the rest of those years. So pushing on.
So hang in there with him, girlfriend. And
don't kill him. I know you're trying to keep feeding him because also too, who's cooking the meals then? So maybe y'all need to switch up and get a vegetarian diet. Maybe get fish. Maybe go vegan. Maybe do something like that to change it up. If you feeding him and you mad because he big, you part of it. You part of it too.
I agree with that.
Hello.
So
you can't be feeding them 8 meals and then expecting something.
Yes, and then too, like I know for me, I've been on that, and I'm surprisingly I'm defending him today because I've been on that bus where your weight go up and down, fluctuate because we all are different. Our makeups are different, and so my thing is, I wish Jeff would tell me he not physically attracted to me because I gained some weight.
You see how? I think, and I was just gonna say that if a guy wrote this letter, I think women will be up in arms.
So that's the reason why I'm defending him today.
Appreciate that. That's fair. I appreciate the fairness because if a man wrote that, like, man, my lady big guns now. Oh, how you You need to love her for her. But if it's reversed, then it's you gotta have that same energy on both sides. How would you want him to do you if you were Biggins or whatever you called him on that first?
Because that makes me want to do that, have kids and stuff, but then
she didn't say. She just wanted to get to that place and let us know she didn't have it. So I would be interested to know if you got your eye on Buford.
Alrighty. All right. 6 tips to get the start back. So for those, not only
get that spark back.
So the whole purpose, the premise of today's lesson but the whole premise of today's podcast is really to talk about not just from a physical standpoint, but are you still attracted to your husband spiritually, mentally, emotionally, so physically all those things. So physically because of health reasons, like are you still attracted to them? And so a lot of times as years progress on, we've been married 15 years, and within that 15 years we have lost even our spark, right? So how can you get that start back, maintain, you're gonna light it again?
Said it.
So it's easy to lose that, to become disconnected, especially when life happens and children and all of that. And so for those who've been able to stay connected throughout, I commend you. But for majority of us, at one point or another in your marriage, you will lose some type of disconnect. So, but the thing about it is when you lose it, you want to get back to it, right? You want to reunite that flames. So, yes. So, we're going to talk about the 6 tips.
6 tips. You can kind of write them down.
To get the spark back. Yeah.
Number 1, we're going to talk about get back to that dating stage. Remember when you were dating? That honeymoon phase?
That honeymoon phase.
They couldn't do anything wrong. Like they could pass gas and it would smell like flowers.
Or for the women, we'd try to hold it.
You be in that thing dying. You be in a restaurant.
Go to the restaurant.
Smell, nothing. I'm not hungry. And you be growling because you don't want them to think that you eat too much. You trying to put your best self. Even if it hurts, even if you got a girl, even if you got to do that place, you doing everything uncomfortable just to get their attention. You love the conversation. They cannot do anything wrong. And it's that cycle of infatuation at that point in time. And a lot of times you don't go there. But going back and getting that, rediscover the fun in your relationship. What did y'all used to do that was fun? What did you used to do that used to bring up the nice things you do? You used to go dancing. You used to play spades or cards. You used to, watch movies together.
Go to movies, Applebee's.
You used to go get some ice cream.
That was our first date.
Knowing you lactose intolerant, you're like, your stomach just bubbling and gurgling up like that. But you endured that because you didn't want them to think negative of you. And there's a certain line, everybody has a different time. You're like, forget this, the girdle comes off, the gas comes out, whatever it is. I'm not gonna go get this. I'm not gonna go to no movies. I'm not. You start to have a different energy and effort that you put into those. So many of the small quirks that we love become habits that we cannot stand, and we no longer put the effort in that keeps things fun. So thinking about what kept it fun for us before, and how can I do that? And so many times we would look and say, well, I'm just going to wait for that person to do something. And so I would be on the passive end waiting for my spouse to do something now, and instead of being on the aggressive side of it and trying to start to get an active start to doing that. What was something we used to do that you liked?
Oh, my goodness.
When we dated. When we were in the... Hey, we ain't had no kids.
We ain't had no kids.
I know. Listen, all the married couples that don't have kids right now, or you engaged,
enjoy it.
Y'all just listen. The kids gonna come out and they gonna be there. You gonna love them, but enjoy this season too. Enjoy this season. What's one thing we had?
We used to do a lot of things together. Like I think I've mentioned this before. Our simpler times was when we were in an apartment. Like that was love. Like it was just that was love. Like I don't think we realized what we had until now. But
I knew it. I was like,
but it was love. Like it was just like just go out to dinner. We used to go to a basic like Old Charlie's and just go. We used to go to Old Charlie's every week, and then they changed their roles and we stopped going.
Yeah. And a long time, because Old Charlie need to holler at us and see what they can get there.
But and then just go to the movies or bowling. Like we still do a lot of those things now, but we just have to carry 2 additional people with us.
And that's what I'm saying. And that sometimes is a killer of that of the drive, because before it's just y'all going to get that and you have a little thing. Yeah. So
another thing too we used to love doing is playing Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero came out. Yes, we used to play that.
Yeah, and then just play a little music. You get that. Hey. Yeah,
That's not the song we play.
It's new music now, but you can find something and just dance to, just go to the thing. Now, there's no excuse not to have a little fun as you push yourself through. So if you are that lady,
and like go-kart riding, we used to go to putt golf.
You play a little putt golf.
We used to go there almost every Saturday.
Yeah, they had a little special. Yeah. Man, you get the popcorn, a little drink, you get the little games. That's what I'm saying. And you on a budget, you trying to have fun on a budget. Look it up. Get you a little.
We know how to have fun on a budget.
Get you a little group of. Come back. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have a lot of time. You have a lot of space. You just have something too. Or if the kids sleep in, you may want to give them a little melatonin or something in the morning, and y'all have a little something, or put them to bed a little early so y'all can have a little time. You gotta be creative in your thing. Don't let the obstacles or the routine stop you from getting back to it and thinking it has to be that way. You can change. If you don't like it, change it. If you don't like it, change it.
Ooh,
so number two,
think about losing your husband.
Number two,
or your wife.
Yeah.
So that could be kind of morbid to think, but I do have my moments where I'm like, oh my God, there's something happened to Jeff, and it does make me very emotional because like this is my person. This is my person that I plan to spend the rest of my life with, and so when you think about that, like losing, I think so many times we put so much energy into things that don't really matter, but it's so many people who have truly lost their spouses, and so when you listen to them, like, man, I would do anything. I wouldn't probably nitpick. I would have done a lot of things differently, especially when they lose their significant other at their young age, right? Yeah. So my thing is you don't sweat the small stuff, even when you think about, oh my goodness, what if I were to lose my significant other?
Yes, and we had an old episode before, like maybe
with Charles and Rakisha.
Yeah, Charles Ray the third and Rakisha Hudson. Also, she has a book. Make sure you check that book out as well.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but they brought that up too, of things that they would kind of complain about. Now they wish they could complain about some things now. And so, learning from people like that who have wisdom, who've been through situations like that, they can really add to that value there. So thinking about, if I lost this person, like, would this really matter? Like, would them chewing and smacking loud, and you eating by yourself, now you would wish you would be able to hear that thing. So it's like, it just makes you appreciate, the good and the bad sometimes.
Yeah. And you know what's so amazing? So in rare instance, I had an opportunity to watch Manifest, right?
Oh.
I watched season 1, season 2. I don't know why y'all never told me about this. It's been so long since I really sat down to watch TV. So I told Friday.
Did you tell them why it's been a long time since you?
Oh, because we just been busy, life. And then also like my reality TV.
Thank you.
And so usually my Sunday nights is usually dedicated to my reality TV. But other than that, that's the time.
Let it go.
So, but one of the things it was talked about, like for Manifest. Well, I'm gonna give it away. For everybody know the part about most of the plane. Somehow or another the plane didn't make it right to 5.5 years later. And this is on Manifest, and so 5.5 years later. But it pops up where people, they return back, and 5.5 years have passed, right?
Oh,
so it's kind of like, 5.5 years has passed. And so it gives people an opportunity to do over, right? It gives people opportunity, and like even when they came back, it was like, man, I wish I would have done this differently. Or even like the people, like keep in mind it's 5.5 years, so a lot of people have moved on and all of that stuff, how new lives, and then but they absorbing them into their new lives. So it's just it's kind of like one of those things. Like, but unfortunately with life though, we don't have do-overs, right? We don't. So that's one thing. Manifest is a TV show, so they have an opportunity to do over. But in real life, there's no opportunity to do a do-over. So you want to make sure everything has an expiration date. We know this, right? So you want to make sure you cherish that time with your significant other. I'm not saying that it's not going to be good, bad times or whatever, because that's life, that's reality. But again, if you could stop and smell the rose and be like, hey, I'm not going to sweat the small stuff, because this is, because a lot of times we have disagreements about it's minor stuff. It's so small, right? So that's what I was gonna say. So yeah.
Good point. And it's just really and truly just that the emphasis of just absorbing that moment, like you said, just absorbing that moment. Like this may not be like this way all the time. So being able to absorb those moments. Number 3 is quality time. You might be thinking, like, I'm not physically attracted. I don't want to hang around with somebody I think is a little tree monster, a little gremlin. But there's a reverse effect. Like when you're able to spend time with one another in places that really helps, you know, build that connection back together. So think about when you were dating. Think about those times that you felt the most, I don't want to say in love, because love is an action verb, but you felt the most connected to that person. You were spending quality time together. You on the phone, you sleep now, you sleeping now, and you would just spend time together. So spending quality time, and then the caveat that is try to spend quality time in what that person likes as well, and not just getting them to do what you like. So trying to find that other side of, okay, let me find a place that I can connect together back with you. I remember we used to watch, on Thursday night, we used to watch Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy. Shout out to Tino and Lindsay Blackwell. They just started watching Grey's Anatomy now. I think on Netflix or something. And they were like, why y'all didn't tell us about Grey's Anatomy? and so just that piece of, I remember we just watching the show, but to me, it wasn't really the show. It was being able to watch the show with you, and our takeaways during commercials, like after the show, like, oh, I can't believe it.
That was before you was able to rewind, fast forward.
Yeah, so if you didn't sit down when the show started, you missed it. It was over. It was over. I don't think we ran it or whatever, but listen, it wouldn't freeze and pause and go back on Hulu or whatever. You watch it now or you don't watch it. Yeah. And so, but being able to have somebody that you could talk to and go back and forth with. LaWanda Robinson and Marcus Robinson, shout out to them too. They also watch the show, listen to the show. They love shows. They put us on some shows that we're supposed to watch. We're behind on it, but hopefully now that she watches Manifest, that'll take her away from her reality shows that she only watches by herself and open up the shows that
I invited you to watch.
It's the shows are mindless shows. I'm saying the shows we watched before, like my mind. I walk past as she watches the shows. I'm like, she's losing brain cells by watching this. I'm saying honestly, I don't want you to. That was the honest place, a safe place. But
How dare you say that?
The show, I'm saying the show itself makes people lose.
I can think your video games make you lose.
I don't know how to play video. I don't know how to play video games. What I'm saying,
I'm talking about when you used to watch play video games, and I didn't say a word to you.
No, I think
so.
Hold on.
And I can say video games can be mindless and kill your brain cells.
If you can hear me out, I think that may just being. This is a trigger that you're attacking me back. But I think this is. Thank you so much. I'm not. Hold on. Let me restate that then, because my purpose is not to say that you're losing brain cells because of you. I'm strictly stating the quality and content of the show is about dissension.
Joe, it's a lot of. Okay, I watched 90 Day Fiance. A lot of about different cultures and everything. But
you can go to the History Channel and learn about it. This is about.
Okay, we're moving forward because I'm not gonna sweat the small stuff today.
Thank you. See, you just got to tell people if you lose me, you got to get that.
Yeah, because you were being offensive to me. Okay, well, I won't sweat it. Whatever.
Thank you. How could I have, because somebody may say the same thing, right? And they're going to get to argue and they won't even listen to the rest of this or watch the rest of the episode. How could I have said that to say, you know what? Oh, let me get to the root of what I'm saying. This is the heart of what I'm saying. So I think I figured it out. Tell me if this works. The thing is, so we both work very hard. And so Sundays are a great time for us to connect. And if the shows, it's not like one show. It's not that I dislike the shows. Or maybe I do, but that's not the point. The point is, I would like to connect with her during those times, and it's very hard to connect with those times. So I'm gonna put it on mine. I'm gonna use the strategy we've been talking about in the last podcast. I feel that because sometimes she'll go to sleep watching the shows at the end of the night, so I miss those times of us watching Grey's Anatomy. So it's not necessarily.
Okay, baby, we'll find a show that we can watch together.
Hold on, look into the camera.
Find a show. I need to look at you.
Okay.
Find a show, babe, that we could watch together, like on a Thursday night, okay? And
I do comedy on Thursday night.
See, you do comedy every night.
I don't do it on Sunday night. Well, okay. I'm doing it tonight.
You're doing it tonight.
I mean,
okay.
It's not Sunday.
So
we're watching this
my
Tuesday.
thing is, so
but on Saturday,
what about Wednesday? Are you available Wednesday?
Yes, I think so. Yes, that's fine. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you heard it here. We're gonna check back next time.
Wednesday, we're gonna find a show where we both will be able to watch.
Okay. So quality time. That was number 3. See that? Y'all did. Okay, we got this in writing. I've been looking for it. Let's see. Okay, number 4 is going from distant to close. Y'all distant right now. You got to get back close. So when you're no longer attracted to your husband, it's probably because of his actions or behaviors. He may be feeling the same way about you, and you don't know it. Ooh, because she didn't say nothing about what she did or anything she's done before. It's just more of what it was for that.
Well,
So,
it's easy for us to pick up what's wrong with other people.
it's so easy, isn't it? So easy instead of seeing a mirror on
I wish
ourselves.
we could get to the point where we want to say, okay, this is, let's pick out what's wrong with us, the personal.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I think that the thing is people have different levels of accountability, I guess, themselves. And if we could use our own selves saying, you know what, the goal is this, or we have a compromise goal, or we have a group goal of this, and maybe I'm not living up to that, or maybe I'm not doing, or maybe we say we work out 3 days a week and I'm not working out, or maybe we say we eat this, or maybe we do this and I'm not doing it. Can you say that about yourself as you go to that place and doing that? So I think that totally agree. Marriages work, relationships work, and I think that's part of the work of daily getting the best version of yourself. What version of yourself are you presenting to your spouse? What version of yourself are you presenting to your spouse? The best? The I'm alright? Or like, listen, this is the bottom of the barrel. But you put that ring on it and say you can't move. Like, don't hold the vows as a bowling, as a thing to them. Like, it's supposed to help motivate you to be the very best you can be. So going from distant to close, and knowing that quality time is important as well. Thinking about places to go. So think about things that you used to do to connect with those things, conversations that you can have, like asking more questions that don't result in yes and no. Like getting into like, oh, how was your day? Good, bad, whatever, and you just answer one like asking questions that require you to think and thought and get back to you doing it before.
Or even if you do ask those questions, one of the things that I share with the kids, and this is something but you cannot answer, especially like, because most people want to know truly how your day was, right, or how you doing, and that sort of thing. But you can't answer with one word, and that's one of the things that I'm really trying to teach, because that bothers me when you ask people, well, how you doing, how things going, they're like, good. Like, no, like, what else beyond good, or well,
For sure. Sometimes it just be.
Yeah. I'd rather for you to tell me I have a horrible day, XYZ, because of XYZ, and versus just saying good, and you're not good. So yeah.
So, and it's one of the points about that is like thinking about the other person's needs, and so many times, like the lady who wrote in, thank you for watching and listening. Have you thought about his needs as well? And so for us, have I thought about my spouse's needs, or the person or my mate's needs? And so I'm thinking about that when you think about going from distant to close. Is let me try to meet their need in a way that, and so let me ask questions. Hey, what are you feeling? Those things. Hey, what would you like to eat? What would you like to do? And actually trying to meet those needs. And many times you're more willing to meet the need of somebody else if you're feeling like that they're actually doing the same thing. So don't wait for it, but both of you guys proactively try to seek out the needs of the other person as you think in that place. And many times we're thinking self-survival. Once you get in that place of this, you start pointing fingers, you're thinking, I'm looking for me. And most kids, most babies are selfish in a sense. And many times we just babies that continue to grow up. We still the same. In that same bucket. Yep. In that same bucket.
Yes.
All right. Yep. And so 5 is care about his needs. And we're talking about that. We kind of led into that, caring about his needs of now we're getting from distance to close, caring about his needs or caring about her needs. And that the same bucket, we kind of already in in just in terms of have I even asked them? Do I know? I was doing premarital counseling earlier today. One of the questions was listing the top 5 needs of your future spouse. And so being able to talk about that, think about that. Do you know that? And how am I doing with that? And just kind of getting feedback as you push that in thoughts. And the last one, number 6, is focus your sexual thoughts toward your husband or your wife. Ooh-wee.
Yes.
Think on that thing. Not just right then when it get ready to jump off. While you at work and you in the cubicle, be like, ooh, I like it when he put his whatever right wherever. And just think about that. Or, ooh, I like it when she throw that onion, put them yams right in the place there. Ooh.
Oh my God.
But many times though, you think about this. Most of us, that's not taught. Like your mom don't tell you to think, girl, you need to be thinking about that man. You start thinking about that. Or I don't know, men. I don't know if your father told you like, talk to her, get things ready as you think through that. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts here?
Oh no, I'm totally with you. I think you definitely want to make sure, because I think it's normal. Again, it's only a matter of when you may lose some type of because life happens where you go through a dry spell where you're not as you're not sexually involved and that sort of thing. But again, getting back to reconnecting and growing with each other, and again going back to the needs, addressing the needs in the bedroom as well as outside the bedroom. So
yeah, you ain't gotta stay in the bedroom. Kids room, your room, you pay for. Go wherever you want to.
So it's just like, I think a lot of times too, you could get caught up in other things like pornography and all of this. There's so much stuff that's out there, right, that could grasp our attention and that could take away of being sexually attracted to our spouse, right? So you want to make sure you block out all those other things and really focus on and zoom in into like the needs of your spouse. What makes, there's certain things, I know if there's a certain gown that I put on, it makes me feel sexy, and then I'm able to be intimate.
Black and white one? Black and white.
Why do you have to tell?
I'm just asking. I'm trying to know for myself. You talking about the black and white one? Which one? When your mind, what was in your mind just now when you said the gown? Which gown you talking about?
The black and white.
Oh, ain't no thing.
So we, you want to keep that energy on your significant other to please him as well.
So yes, love that. So thinking about that throughout the day, and so like we talk about, men are like microwaves and say women are like crock pots, and so just knowing, hey, listen, I don't cook a lot in the crock pot, so I have to YouTube and learn what's going on. So when do I need to turn it up? Like communicate.
Crock pot, if you cook it, you got to start in the morning.
Exactly. And so like you forget to turn it on. Like our parents used to say, hey, look, take the chicken out, take the meat out, or something, take the ground beef out, or something.
Put it in a crock pot. You got to start right before you go to work, and it be done when you get off work.
That's what.
So that's like 9 hours.
You see that? It takes a long time. So I think just for somebody who's trying to get the meat out of there at the point, and he may be busy too. I don't know what his schedule's like, or he may not be busy. But I think just for that, I think communicating that, especially, I'm gonna speak for the men real quick. Communicate to us how you, if there's some buttons on the side. There's a book that's called "Who Moved My Cheese." It's about it's about the target. And women sometimes even admit in the book saying, I mean, just because something worked Monday don't mean it's going to work on Thursday when you're trying to get something. It's like, what type of witchcraft is this? Who designed this? God,
God designed us.
God, give us the blueprint to this thing.
God
did you take the real? Did we need to get a kneecap?
We just talking about this. You said, how do you know there's a God? Because he designed.
Yeah, I was trying to teach us more about that. But I said, God, listen, God, that's why God designed women so men can stay close to him. Because he knows going through that, you gotta. If you're not, I say, listen, and I don't know what your relationship with God is if you listen or watch it. You gotta get with God if you really want this relationship to last. Because there's gonna be times you're gonna be like, this does not make any logical sense. I just tried. I just kissed you on your breast the other day. Now, you don't work on it. Now I need to go to the back. You want your back kissed on? Why you didn't tell me? So it would behoove, I'm going to speak for men. So men, somebody's listening right now, the men just perked up. That's where I've been waiting on this part of the episode. Communicate with your man how you want him to love you. Many times, if a guy has learned from pornography growing up, or he's learned from just whatever, he's thinking the same thing works for the same thing. Or maybe you change. Maybe you'd like to get a little something started before something get jumping off now. And so, but he won't know that, or she won't know that. I'm going to speak on both sides. If you do not communicate that, and many times sex is so taboo in the situation, or just foreplay is so taboo because I'm afraid of what they're going to think if I say something to them. And if I haven't learned from my parents, like most of our parents didn't teach us that, or we didn't see it becomes like, oh, they should just know I like to be body slammed and choked. I don't know what you think. I like to be body slammed. Whatever.
Now we talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
But all the women went to the theaters to go watch it. So I'm like, what are y'all trying to say? Y'all
all because that man was filthy rich and wealthy. Have you seen it?
I have not. We need to watch it. We need to watch it.
But no, I read part of the book, and the reason why so many people went, because the whole premise is this guy is a wealthy guy, right? And
women get
hold on, listen. So this guy is a wealthy guy, and it's kind of like Pretty Woman. You remember Pretty Woman?
Yeah, she was a prostitute too.
Yeah, but it's not that like that, but like she's just a person that works. She's works 9 to
she's
5, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And so then it's kind of like she glowed up because here she met this wealthy guy, right? And then but he wants to try all this different stuff. But somebody said now that would have never happened if he worked a 9 to 5.
I need to watch this so I can have context of what you're saying. So what I'm hearing you say is women are
because women, we love being swept up our feet, right? We love swept up our feet. We love like all of that stuff. But it's got to be a certain. I don't know.
Are y'all hearing yourselves? Are you hearing yourselves? Women, listen, God, I listen. I don't doubt God. I trust Him. I totally trust Him. They're real though. You think it could have been like a spleen or a kidney or something? But like you said, I'm absorbing what you said. You said this man, because he's rich.
He's very wealthy.
And so you never hear men like, you know what, man? Listen, she wasn't my type. She was rich, so I went in there.
No, he's wealthy. He's very handsome. He's like the ideal. Like they curated the story to be the ideal man.
For women, it's like
but it goes through ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to watch it.
Okay, we have to watch it because I'm
so let me wrap this thing up because I know you got to go to the comedy.
I gotta get this thing. So the love portion, real quick, is work on being physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy for yourself first.
Yes.
So if you're the woman from the MF, help me, work on yourself first. Be the very, so you can outpour that love and compassion and grace to somebody, especially your spouse, the one you've dedicated and made vows to. We gotta make up. So I'm going through what the vows actually mean, so we actually know. Because some people jumping in, just for the wedding cake and the whole 9 and the dress. And then they wake up the next day like, man, what is going? I got to wake up to this and do this all year for life. It's a whole different energy. So I think if we're both working on being the best version of ourselves and being open to accountability, and love, and compassion, and grace when we fall, and picked up and talked and working back to one of those places. When I'm not there, when I'm not doing that, it helps build up that desire and that connection that can withstand time and kids and stretch marks and
when they grow,
hair loss,
bigger,
all those things, and weight gain, all those things that typically would throw it off. That you see something deeper in that person than what you physically saw. So you may have been attracted to them to get them, but what's inside is what'll keep them. Oh, hit the cabbage patch! Hit the cabbage patch! I said something.
Oh my goodness!
Hit the cabbage patch! Hey, hit the cabbage patch! You see that? So what was physically there, or what you liked about them that was there that you was cheesing and showing all your teeth? See what I'm doing there? Showing my teeth, trying to get a good and juice. And then, but letting, I'm gonna say this point. Ooh, I like that. But let me say this point. So I'm gonna say this one more time. What physically got them? It's like fishing, right? Like fishing. What physically got them was attractive, but what will keep them is what's inside, your character, what all those characteristics that you don't see, your personality, your love, your conversation, those things that when your body does change and you're 118 years old and you look at her and she dropped that blood pressure medicine, you go behind and you say, I hope you got your life alert on tonight, baby. And you can whisper still nasty stuff in her ear. It's not because she's physically the same way she was before.
Because she won't be, or he won't be.
And because his or her body is what's inside, and that connection that behooves all other things. And so love on them. Love yourself first. Build yourself up. Get spiritually, mentally healthy and well. Heal from what you've done before. And then you can love somebody the right way. Yeah. Love me the right way. See that?
What? That's a song?
No, it is now. It is now. So, listen, and hopefully you learned something through this episode today. MF helped me. Please go back and help that young lady. We want her to stay married. We want her to write us back like, hey, appreciate y'all. Appreciate this. This helped me. I'm back. I was healed. Maybe it was something that's really hurting from me, and I'm portraying that on my husband. I have an unrealistic expectation that I have for myself that I don't feel beautiful, and so I feel like if I'm with somebody that's handsome, it'll make me feel beautiful. Right. Like you mentioned about the great movie, the 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey. I hate to watch this. So,
yes.
What you learn? Anything you learned real quick? You good?
I learned a lot.
Everything?
Yeah, everything.
Stuff. So, all right. Mr. Monster Time? Yes. So if you argued, bucked, grabbed on something that she's like, oh, it was good yesterday for you to grab on it. Huh?
Oh, my
God. But now she talking crazy?
So you look at your spouse and say,
Ooh, I like that.
I like you, I love you, and I want you.
Come here. Woo. If you're listening, go watch.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're looking forward to next Tuesday, same place, same time.
Tell somebody, man, and just drop in the comments. Just say hey. Just say hey. Just let us know you're watching it this time. Love y'all, man. God loves you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Thank y'all. Ooh, wee. This is a good episode.